we're asking for these young ladies to join the cast tonight, and they had questions for us. So joining the cast tonight is Dr. Tamiko Manning and Dr. April Givens. Thank you for joining the BSF podcast. How are you guys
Better,
keeping this evening?
better known as Too Legit to Quit.
Hey y'all.
Hey, you all. How are you?
Well, handsome.
Good, good.
Okay.
How y'all doing this nice evening?
Good, good.
It's raining down here. It ain't so nice.
Oh,
Okay. Well, let's get right into it. Dr. Givens, I asked you. Yes, Chris.
You put me between the ladies.
Sandwich you have.
You like that.
Whatever you like. All right, listen.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's right. So I was talking to Dr. Givens today, and I always try to, minister, and we go back and forth at times, and we have our debate topics. And she had a question for us tonight. And I don't know if it's, true or not, but it's a good conversation. Dr. Givens said, "Why are some men emotionally unavailable?" Is that just it? That's just a broad question, or do you have more in depth that you want to give us, Dr. Givens?
no, that's just a broad question. I wanted to, pose it to the fellas so y'all can give y'all vast knowledge on the topic, and then I'll speak on it from a therapist standpoint.
We don't like therapy over there now.
That's all right.
All right.
I
I'm gonna go
learned.
to. He's the ladies' man. So why are some men emotionally unavailable, Zay?
Shit, it's probably rejection. I mean, you gotta act. Have you paid attention to social media lately? Because I think that's where most of the new guys get all of their toothpaste from. And it's thirsty this, and he bothering me that, and all this other stuff. So how do you attach an emotion to someone who shows you that they don't want to instead of keep pushing back? That's just what I see. I don't know, but that's a question back. And that could be the answer. Maybe it's that the person that wants the emotion kind of comes off a little rigid. Kind of hard to be
Hmm.
emotional or sensitive with them, but who knows?
All right, I'm gonna take it up slowly. Super Mario, because I know when I get to Chris
Whoa,
Leo, it's gonna go. Beep.
this is not that kind of show. We're just gonna take it to the next person.
Thank you, assistant producer. Super
You're
Mario
welcome.
Senior.
Where would you be without me?
Yeah, let me count the ways. Super Mario Senior.
Well, that's an interesting question. You know what I'm saying? So when you asked that, I was like, wow, I don't even know how to answer that because
I'm ready for it.
I don't know if men are emotionally I don't think, you know what I'm saying, you say most men or some men. I think
Yeah.
that's a hard question because I don't really know too many people who actually emotionally unavailable. I think that a lot of them emotionally have checked out and they don't want to be available, but I don't think it's a thing of like, can they not be? You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's what I got from that question. Like, why can't they? You know what I'm saying? I think a lot of times they just don't want to because sometimes it don't seem marketable. Like, I don't think women market to men emotions anymore. I think most of the marketing from women are coming from their pockets or from some form of demand that they created in the media that they want. At this month, it's somebody sensitive. This next month is gonna be somebody who does this. Is, you know what I'm saying? But I don't really hear too many women actually beat the foundation of I want a man that truly loves me and empathizes with me and all that. I don't hear that to the forefront. I hear women talk about it in small groups, but I don't see that propaganda being pushed. So I think it's a lot about the marketing that women are giving toward to get men. I don't think it's calling for emotions.
I will say this. I'm ready for this one. Mostly, most men aren't raised to be emotional at all. Think about how we raised. Not to cry, be tough. So like I always say, we raised like pit bulls. But at the same time, I say for me, some men are raised coming from that boys to men is a little traumatic. The development is based on producing. So I always tell people I didn't even start to tinker with emotional intelligence till I was in my mid 30s. I wasn't raised to be emotional. I didn't. I was hurt inside at funerals. I not allowed to cry. Disappointment, not allowed to cry. I had a father who they didn't even want you to hug him. You being soft, you acting like a sissy. So I think once we get to a place where we get with a woman or somebody we trust, we'll start to unpack that stuff. Or we get to a financial place where we're open to, like, I got a little time to start to figure out who I am. We'll dig into who we are emotionally. But the bad thing about this era is you two ladies come from an era where y'all was dying for a man to be emotional, show you some vulnerability, show you he care and all that. But in this era, that man gets exploited. That man is gonna be all of those things, emotional and vulnerable. And man, these women don't respect that. If you look at rap lyrics, he a sucker, he a lame. We gonna play him. I'm gonna take him some money. I'm gonna be with this dude, but I'm gonna get, I'm gonna have a connection with this dude for various reasons. So that emotional aspect, I think, is tricky. But I know until I was 35 ish, I didn't even know what emotional intelligence were. Never heard the phrase. And then the person that introduced it to me, I kind of rejected it for a long time. I fought back on it, but they were pretty much like a therapist too. And at some point, because I cared and I started to listen, then I started to unpack. God damn it, this person. Then I started to unpack uh, what emotional intelligence was or my emotions. You know what I mean? So that is my honest truth, and I wish anybody would kick back on that. Chris Leo.
I think it's always shocking to me when I hear women ask this question. I think it's full of shit. I think it's cap. I 100% think it's cap.
What's
I think
cap?
that no woman I know haven't seen a man mad, and most women have seen their men mad. That's an emotion. If you see him mad, notice what happened, and if you truly care, don't do that shit again. That's an emotion. Okay, so now have you seen him happy? Yeah, you probably seen him happy. Whatever, check out the surrounding and see what's going on when he's happy. Try to repeat that if you really give a damn about his happiness. I see men laughing and shit instead of caring about what he's laughing about. A lot of time you want to tell us what's funny, what's not funny, and who face we can't be laughing in. I've seen men show concern, but a man concern is worthless if it doesn't have a monetary value to it. If it doesn't have a physical effort into it, you can't just tell a woman you care. It doesn't have a value to it. So you get a lot of emotions. Even like imagine fear. Imagine telling your lady every time you scared. That ain't gonna go over well. They're just not gonna respect it. I have never seen a woman tell me she slept with a man because he told her he was scared of something, or told her how nervous he was. That don't turn women on. So I think men constantly showing emotions. You gotta care about a man's emotions. You gotta respect it and then appreciate it. And then he continue to show you those emotions. But if a man is sitting want to be left alone, that's an emotion. That's how he handles that emotion. Instead of you coming over and saying, well, you making it about you, you're wrong for wanting to be by yourself. That's how we handle our emotions. So I think that we talk, we show our emotions. I don't think nobody give a damn about it. So that's how I think about it.
I think women like men that show emotions that cater to their, I don't want to say insecurities, but I don't know, they have confirmations. Maybe I'm wrong on that, but
well, this is what we mean when we say emotionally unavailable. So I think Mario probably gave the best answer. When men check out or so, or maybe he's been in a situation where he's had someone previous that didn't really care about his emotions. So women, when we say a man is emotionally unavailable, that means that he's not being, or he's not willing to be vulnerable with us. He puts up this wall. He shuts down. So when you're getting to know someone, let's say me and you get to know each other and we're communicating, going out, having fun, but I'm letting you know things about me and your guard is still up. You're just not saying anything, not letting me know nothing about you. Continuously. This may go on for maybe about 4 or 5 days and his wall is still up. He's not saying anything, or maybe he's so passionate about her to where he's not going to say nothing because he's scared to be vulnerable and scared that she's going to take advantage of him and run off and break his heart if he allows himself to be vulnerable. So emotionally unavailable means having the ability to be vulnerable with your partner and being able to communicate your feelings. If it's something that that person is not doing or what you want them to do, you're able to communicate that. At this point, we're adults. And so, like Horace said, we don't come from that era to where, it's all about this, all about that. Me and Dr. Samika, we would like a man to be emotionally available, meaning that, hey, we appreciate you if you can communicate how you feel and what's going on. I've had men tell me that, hey, I'm scared, X, Y, and Z. This is why I behave this way. And I appreciate the honesty. I hold him to a higher pedestal because he was able to be honest and tell me how he felt so we can move forward. Men who not tend to ghost you, tend to not communicate their emotions, are full of a whole lot of baggage, run away, deal with women from one night stand to one night stand because they don't want to open up.
I think listen, wait a minute, I'm going to Dr. Manning. Listen, I think most men want purpose. Either they still chasing their purpose or they self-absorbed. But like I say, they don't got time for emotion. They still trying to work and they struggling. They going through the struggle. Sorry, Chris and Dr. Manning.
Okay, no, you're fine. And I also wanted to add to that. We're not talking about men that have checked out or that are not interested. We are talking about men that are fully interested, invested in the relationship, but there are times when they shut down. For example, pillow talk. You said that it's a turn off for some women, but I say it's a turn on because a lot of times when a man is vulnerable, we open up also. And when that happens, you feel that connection and you want to be connected emotionally, physically, and everything else with that person. So again, I just wanted to add that. I mean, I'm talking about situations like having a hard day at work, him being able to actually articulate that and you support that man. But of not coming home and not saying anything, having an attitude, you have all this stuff bottled up, but it's because you need to share that, but you don't want to feel weak in sharing that situation. That's what we're talking about when we say emotionally unavailable.
You mean emotional? So that's like emotional neglect, you feel. Chris.
I got to see the receipts. I got to see the receipts. You tell me that you like these men. Obviously, you have experienced these men. Why aren't you not with these men? Why aren't these men coming back and saying, look, I pillow talk with Dr. April, and boy, that BJ after that pillow talk was amazing. I opened up to Dr. Tamika, and boy, she was so submissive from there. I need receipts. Show us these guys that y'all done had this experiences with, and y'all stuck with, and was submissive to, and cared about, and pumped up. It seems as though you want the exact opposite guy to do that stuff. But you seem as though you're attracted to the opposite guy. I can't understand how you let Casanova slip to your hands. I just can't understand it, ladies.
But who said we have? We didn't say that we.
Every man you've ever been with was emotionally unavailable.
No,
you had to experience it one time.
Yes.
I don't understand, why didn't you stay with that man?
We have experienced it in the past. Doesn't mean that we're still experiencing it. We're just posing a question of why are some men like that? And I mean, women come to me in counseling all the time, and that's the question that they ask. But I also counsel a lot of men, all different races. And men talk about from their standpoint how they feel about it. Maybe they was checked out, they wasn't feeling the lady, or it's a lot of different things. They have some emotional things that were going on with them in their life, and they don't want to let someone get too close. They understand it's hurting her, but on the flip side, it's like, okay, I'd rather hurt her than allow her to at some point hurt me if I let my guard down and be vulnerable.
I got a question.
It's leverage.
So the women, hold on a second. The women want the man. I feel like y'all want the man that's not emotional. I mean, emotionally, like he just shut off, and you want to be the one to win him over.
No, not
that's definitely not it.
I think what you were talking about though, Dr. April, is true, and most men think that it's leverage. One of the things that Dr. Manning had mentioned was like pillow talking. Horace talked about this, and I think he articulated great. I say this all the time. We were taught by men who didn't know what the hell they were doing how to be men. And the number one rule they told us was never pillow talk. You don't do that as a man. So, if a woman thinks that that's checking out, then again, culturally, we've been taught not to pillow talk. Now, as you get older and you start to mature and you have a wife and you're moving in that direction, that's not pillow talking. Y'all have a partnership that y'all have to be on one accord about. But if you're dating, that man has to feel safe or secure to do that, because oftentimes right now in today's dating circuit, you open up too many times, that's a weak A nigga, or something else, or it's used as leverage later on when something is dysfunctional between you two, so that you can step on him or demean him. Not saying you guys do it, but that's what oftentimes happens to most guys who you're running into that you're thinking is not emotionally available. They just have tried that before and it didn't work out in their favor, so they are not really apt to do that again. But like I said in the beginning, though, you got to look at what they're using as their dating tools. Most of them is social media. When you get on social media, Mario said that there are small pockets of women who talk that good talk, but the ones who are loud and the ones that we hear, sorry, that makes the bunch spoiled. They don't talk like that. They don't make no man feel safe about his real feelings. So he does become standoffish, distant, because he's trying to get it together as far as, can I engage this woman, or screw that, I'm out. Like she said, a whole bunch of one night stands, I think, because they understand me better at that time, whatever the case may be. But again, I'm a fly on wall. I don't know. I'm just telling y'all.
Men definitely when they feel safe and they trust a
I
woman.
was, I was going to say what Deron just said, and I was thinking about it when they was talking. I was like, that is one part, because I think you got to feel safe enough, right, with the person to feel like it's, or even that it's worth it, right? But then again, I started thinking, I was like, well, that's almost kind of, I don't want to be a hypocrite, because we tell women, don't tell us that they got to do something for us to do something right. Right? We always tell women, like, if you're gonna do it, just do it. Don't do it because I do something. So I can't be hypocritical in this moment. So I must say this. A lot of times when you're talking about emotions, right? You got to say, I think you got to value what you're feeling. Like, you have to value. Like, if I love you, I have to tell you, because if I don't tell you, then I'm not putting myself in the best position to have to be in the right position. You understand what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people, like, I always tell people, like, if I see a girl and I really want her, I got to tell her how I feel, because then she can't tell me no or yes. And I think a lot of people are so scared of that no, or so scared of what the outcome might be, that they always protecting themselves. Sometimes you gotta value your and validate your feelings good enough. Like, if I'm upset with you and I care about you, I have to let you know I'm upset with you, because I really want you to change it. I don't want to leave you. I don't want to stop talking to you. I want you to change it. So if I don't value the output of, like, I want you, so I want you to change this, then I'm gonna feel like I'm gonna just shut down because I leave. I don't want to talk because I leave. I don't want to do this, because I'm telling you, in a marriage, you got to find a way to talk. You got to find a way to express yourself, because you can't go nowhere. And if you can't go nowhere in your mind, that's your premises that we in it for the long haul. I think your emotions would it go to be feeling safe, but your emotions, you tend to want to say them more, because the effect affects you more. When I was dating, if I say something, like Chris said, if I say something to a woman and I feel she's not listening to me, it's over. I'm not gonna keep talking and talking and talking when I'm saying this. I'm just going on. But I think now that I'm married, if I say something to my wife and I think she don't listen or she don't hear me right, I try to find another way to do it, or another way to say it, another way. And then maybe that's the reason I can kind of understand that, is because when I was in this position of dating, I felt like Chris, like, bro, I'm not gonna keep asking you, keep telling you, I'm saying this to you. But sometimes when you get in a situation where it's like, I got to get you through this, because if you don't get it, then I have to go. And me leaving this means a whole different thing.
Guess I started my conversation off with that. One, you gotta feel man gotta feel safe. That's not a word we use enough. Man gotta feel like he can trust you. And he also gotta feel like you actually care. So those are three things we missed out on. But I got some pushback on this. It's almost like giving an example of what I meant. How we were raised. We were raised by some real alpha males, some real tough dudes that I ain't see a lot of emotion out. Kevin Samuel had just put a clip up, and it's probably going viral now, where he was like, "If you go to your woman, y'all know what I'm talking about, and go being vulnerable and telling her blah 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 blah, you gonna lose her." So this kind of like, and that is what most men like growing up. You're going to meet that kind of uncle or father that's telling you like, I don't care what happened, don't go to no woman with your problems or telling her, what's wrong with you because you're gonna lose that woman. Y'all didn't see that clip at all?
You can't bring up Kevin Samuels. It triggers Dr. April.
No, it don't.
Dr. April said, F Kevin Samuels the last time he was on the show.
No,
That
I did not.
Were you all taught also as kids that men couldn't complain? Like you can't complain to the woman.
100%.
It was shown that nobody cared.
No, you said
It
as
was taught
kids.
it was shown that nobody gives a damn.
You said as kids. I'm saying we talk that every day that
Yeah.
nobody gives a damn about a man. This is like right now. I'm trying to be fun. Like every day, every part of America is showing you shut the hell up. I just told Andrew Wiggins to shut the hell up and go back to work. Like nobody can. Like I ain't trying to be funny. Like that's the like I feel getting up in the morning. Yeah, I feel my wife care, but I'm saying in the mass production, I feel like as a man, bruh, shut up and go on about your business because people like Chris said. I think a lot of people do a lot of talking about how they like this, how they want this, how this is the way it is, and I wish women would just listen to men who are not trying to be condescending, not trying to be nasty, or not trying to be provoking or thought provoking. We don't feel that. We don't feel that women give a damn about what we say. I'm just being real.
But that's so crazy. That's so misconstrued because it's so many women that's in our circle. We can say we can't speak for all women, but we can speak from a lot of professional women's standpoint to where we do care about our Black men. We do, and we wish you guys would actually be vulnerable and have more conversations with us because this is like the opposite of thinking. And that's why I think it's a lot of times to why the relationship doesn't work. You have so many single women out here. You have so many single brothers out here that can come together and be together if they just communicate with each other and communicate effectively. That's the sad part about it because we all want the same thing. We all want the same goal. And there's some great women out here that will be emotional toward their men and listen to their men and all of that stuff and boost him up and motivate him. But I mean, it's crazy. That's a thought process.
Gonzarelli.
Yo. So, Hard, I'm gonna talk on a little bit of what we've spoke on before. Like as you all know, my brother's married, so he'll talk to you guys from a place we ain't got yet. And he told me some things as far as with marriage, like he explained to you guys. Those conversations that I think that the doctors are asking for are for the individuals that are in serious relationships and trying to get to a certain place. They don't have any problem being emotionally available because they know what they want to be. But if you're in a relationship as a woman, and I can be wrong, and you're seeing all the good attributes in this man and saying, "Oh, I want him to pour into me," and things like that, y'all haven't stopped to see if he saw the same things into you, and maybe the reason why you're not getting that emotional availability that is being sought after. Because to be honest to you, like you said, if that man is looking for a one night stand, no, I'm not telling you what's going on with me. I'm just showing you all the good things because I want to get some good thing and I'm out of that. But that extra stuff that you're talking about, that's not happening because that goes against everything I said that we would talk. Ain't no pillow talking. I ain't soft and ain't nothing wrong with me ever, even when something is wrong with me. And that's just, cut and dry how I see it. So I was just sharing that because maybe that gives you guys some insight on vetting better. We talk about that a lot too. Like, is the Joker that I'm looking to be emotionally available, even wanting to do any of that? Do he care about that? Those are probably some more important questions.
So let me flip the script. So what if you have a man who
I've never met a man.
Well, not you, but I'm saying, okay, what if a female has a man who has been straightforward and told her all about his trauma, his past trauma, his childhood trauma, everything that was going on, let her in, got a little close to her, but then all of a sudden clammed up and disappeared. What do you say about those type of men?
It's something going on with him. I mean,
Did him?
it's something going on with him. Yeah, if he clammed up and disappeared, like she said, they were having a great relationship. Am I catching what you're saying correct, right?
Yes.
And then all of a sudden he clammed up. It's something inside of him. It can't be something she did, because if he did, he'd probably say something. Maybe. Hey, listen, this is my answer, not y'all's. I'm just telling you. So it could be something inside of him that he don't have right. And it could be something that she did. Hopefully he would say to her, but again, you gotta listen to context clues, because guys do say things certain times and women don't hear them. So then he might have felt like, I spoke enough, I'm out of there. Those are just different variations. But again, like I said, it all just starts from,
But I mean, I get what you're saying, but my take is on that he's scared to be vulnerable. It was too much. Like I let my guard down. I told this woman all these things. Now she has leverage to use against me. Yes, I care about her. Yes, I see that she cares about me, but I don't know, because based on my past experiences, I may not ever had a woman to show me that she cared so much. So I can't trust this woman that's actually putting it out there and showing me that she do care.
That's very true, because that may be something that's foreign to him. It's not, it's not normal. So you think that what? It's a trick, or you trying to get over. So then that will cause that. But
let me ask you this. Go ahead. I want to say, first of all, we all have our different opinions, right? You're gonna get 3-4 different answers. I'm saying in that scenario, she might have lost his trust. She might have did something, because sometimes men confide in a woman and then she give her opinion, or she try to push him through his trauma. He might not be ready to tackle her. She's trying to push him through the heal, and he's still dealing with it, or he's not ready to get past that. And she's lost. He don't trust her no more, or he doesn't have the courage to push through. Or sometimes, to be honest, I think a lot of times women sometimes paint a picture that ain't there. Like you might have painted a picture, oh, he's doing all of these things, but I do know when a woman likes a dude, she'll lie to herself. And sometimes that scenario ain't really, like, she kind of pushing it further than it is. No, you ain't got to. Everybody got a different answer. So that's my take on it.
it might be articulation in there with you too, Horace. What you were saying. It may be articulation in there where you were saying that she may have done something to break his trust, and he doesn't. I'll be the first. I'm one of them, so I'll be the first to say. Sometimes we don't articulate it correctly to the woman for her to understand that, and then, like I said, when it's not understood, then we think that our next mode is escape. I gotta leave because there's no respect here, or there's no whatever. Like Horace said, she might be pushing him too hard at a point in time, and he ain't ready to go there yet, so he out.
Let's say women love to be the hero. That thing might be really tough for him, and then she keeps going back at it. Or she might share it with somebody else. You know what I mean? As women have a lot of trauma, but men have a lot of trauma, and I think it's harder for men to admit that something horrible happened to them. You know what I mean? And I think we deal with, just like you say, we lack emotions. So you have to see that we're going to have a harder time handling something that's traumatic, as where a woman might be looking, to deal with a different way. Go ahead, Chris Leo, because you've been blinking and rolling eyes, everything.
You see this comment down? Put that comment back up, please. This is what happens when you show fear. Fear is an emotion. When you show fear, this is not a concerning comment. This is a condescending comment. It's like last week when Vanessa put up that condescending comment. I don't think she mean harm, but it's just, this is how you react to, if a man shows fear, you mock it. You say, well, you're scared of commitment. That's me displaying an emotion. I'm trying to explain my fear, and you mock it. So this is the reasons why, if you think that men are emotionally unavailable, men are made emotionally unavailable. What I'm saying, they're made like this because, again, no one seemed to see this. Now, as far as your situation, Dr. April, I don't know what's going on in that situation, but what I've learned to always do is never believe what the woman say. So if she says that, it's all.
But see, you're not giving us the benefit of the doubt. I don't think she's being condescending. It's just that he could be scared. What's wrong with saying that he's scared?
I just said it's condescending, Dr. April. And that's what I just said. And what you're trying to do now is tell me that, no, you're wrong for what you think. I'm telling you what I think. I'm expressing my feelings to you, Dr. April. Stop correcting me, telling me I'm wrong. Please, can you stop doing that?
Okay, Chris.
If you don't mind. I love you.
Dr. Manning. Dr. Manning, you've been too quiet.
Well, I'm listening because I feel how I feel. And the comment that you made earlier about, we just like the bad guy. All of us don't. Like, I don't want the bad guy. I don't want you see the Sierra Future and Russell situation, and a lot of people are saying she was dressed the way she was dressed because honestly, she's with the wrong guy. She's with the nice guy, but she really doesn't want the nice guy. Some of us don't want the bad guy. We want the person. I mean, we want there to be a balance. You have your hard side, but you also have your vulnerability. If you will, your pillow talk, your coming home and being honest and saying those things that, both support us so we can support each other. So I've had a bad guy before, but I see the difference, and that's not what I want. I feel like the maturity piece is there. And so I want a man that has balance.
Well, we seen you with a man. Can you tell us about the one that we seen you with?
There you go.
Hello, he's here.
Boss hog, right in the picture. Salute my brother. You got your catch.
Yeah, Chris.
What do you want to know about him?
No, it's okay. I just throw it out there. I just like because every now and then a little jab.
She dance your blusher, Chris.
Yeah.
Amber, I like what Amber said. She said it's called balance.
I want to know this because I'm just a man, and I don't never try to be a woman or think like a woman. So I always ask women their perspective. So what y'all describing me is what every woman all my life since I've turned 30 said they want. But just statistically, if it's more men in this world than women, see, people don't have to have this real conversations. Statistically, you're asking for the cream of the crop. A man who's balanced, who probably loves you, but to protect you. A man who listens, but defends you. Like you want a guy who's emotionally sound, but can get out there and play and then giggle and mingle amongst the people when you take him into any environment, work or to the hood. You want the cream of the crop when it's considered to a man. So if every woman wants the cream of the crop, how do you think you can get that? And if you can't get the cream of the crop, how willing are you to accept, like, he may not be balanced. He might be 60-40. He might be 70-30. He might be on one way or the other. But why is that guy never talked about as a guy worth having? When if a man says he wants the cream of the crop, then we being shallow. We being too greedy. We just don't. We scared. We scared to commit. We don't know a good thing when we see one. But why we want what we feel is balance? Then why we can't just have our balance? Why women got to tell us what our balance is? And if we don't want that, then we're a bad guy. That's a question for the ladies.
The only thing we ask Mario is that he be emotionally available. We didn't say none of that other stuff.
No, doctor.
You get to tell us what's emotionally available.
She won't balance. She won't balance. And that's the truth. I heard a lot of women say exactly what Dr. Tamika just said. They want balance. They want a bad guy, but not one going to prison. They want a guy that's going to talk, but not talk too much. They want a guy that's short, but he don't got to be 6 foot. That's what you want. The perfect. You want the guy that you can take around your homegirls, and they like him, but he don't talk too much to them, or he don't flirt with them. You want that great balance. That guy, the guy that he led the pillow talk with you, but he stand up with his back like this. I'm saying those guys exist. I'm not saying you two beautiful women don't deserve them. All I'm saying is, if every woman in the world want those. Because almost every woman I talk to, if you ask Amber, balance. First word. Every woman want balance.
Yes, Amber.
You can't all have it. So what? So what then?
We didn't say perfect. We didn't say he had to be perfect.
No, balance.
Yeah,
I'm
but
saying
just
if you
balance ain't perfect.
see,
I want you to be able to protect
Balance
me.
ain't perfect though, right?
I want to feel safe. As a woman, we want to feel safe.
I understand that. I'm saying, what happened if you can't get 50-50?
What if I
I
tell
want to
you,
know, are you willing to take a 40-60? That's what see, you're evading the question. I'm saying if you can't get balance, which end are you willing to take less on?
I mean, 60-40, I can work with that.
On which end?
Yeah.
Rather
He
him
has to be emotionally available. We can work with anything if he emotionally available.
As long as he's 6 feet too, right?
Don't say that.
And it got to be
Dr.
6
April.
feet.
No, he don't have to be 6 feet.
Well, I want to know this, Dr.
Well,
April.
okay, on that one.
See now, there we go.
Okay.
Well, Dr.
Okay,
April, you talk
that's
to a lot of
just
men.
because
How many
I'm
men you think
I'm
emotionally
extremely
available?
tall. I'm a tall woman. So
I mean, it is men that are
So
emotionally
just-
available.
No,
Just
I'm
get
asking
rid of
for
all the emotionally balanced 5'5"ers. They gone. And then we got all the emotionally balanced married men, the gay men gone, the emotionally balanced guys that just want to sleep around. So that's the big ass dating pool you get to fish in there, doctor.
Yep.
I want to know this, Dr. Gibbons. What percentage would you say the guys that come into your office are emotionally available for you to think that it's a good percentage?
I mean, I think it's a lot because first of all, you have to be emotionally available in order to seek therapy.
You know, you could be emotionally horrible, and then that's when you asking for help.
Not necessarily. You have to have some level of
I'm
awareness.
saying you can be. I'm saying you can be. You could be a guy that shut down. Like he could be talking to you, and his girl feel like he's emotionally undeveloped. Is that true?
Yeah, you're right.
That's
That
what I'm
that
saying.
could be true in some situations, but I'm talking about the men who seek therapy on their own individually, not coming in as a couple, but
No. I'm saying
coming in alone.
I'm saying Zay often always say, "I want to, but I don't know how to." So until Zay gets into the seat with you, it's not going to be the first visit. So that means he's going to go back home to his girl and be emotionally unavailable for that next couple weeks, a couple sessions, a couple. That's what I'm saying. So it could be men who go to you and they not available. So I'm just saying, how many men you come to you that's not emotionally unavailable when they walk through the door?
Mario, can I add a
I'm
science
still
fact?
saying not that many because most men who come, they already have that level of awareness that the first step is understanding, like understanding who you are and knowing, okay, these are some flaws and this is what I need to work on. And like you said, some men do come and they can communicate with me and tell me all that, but then can go home to their girlfriend or their wife and still clam up. You know, it may take a little bit until he decides to open up to her, but he's learning and he's communicating his thoughts and his feelings and being vulnerable enough to open up so he can start to heal. That's the first step.
We've seen people
Wait a
lose their
minute, I gotta
women
give a
behind
stat.
that.
In the U.S., only 14.5% of men are 6 feet tall and over. So that's gonna kind of add to y'all issue.
Person can't be broke.
Well, I say this, and to your, because I that was a great answer, Dr. April. So one more question, I'm gonna let it go. So that means, would you say a lot of men go to therapy?
Yeah, I would. Yes, I would.
my
I think
God,
it's more and more men
That's
are
a myopic
therapy
view.
now.
This is amazing because I'm learning stuff today I never learned. I hear so many times men need to go to therapy. Men
Well,
don't go to
your
therapy.
practice is bumping.
This is amazing.
It is. My
You
practice
are like,
is popping. I ain't tripping.
Dr. April fixed my life.
Hey, I just need my own show. Come on.
But
I hear so many women it is a lot of men that are coming to therapy.
I probably know 2 people out of the 102 people I know that they go to therapy. That's amazing odds you got over there, sister. Out of all the men I know, I might know 2.
Well, but see, that's you.
Right. I'm just saying me.
That
That's why I
men
said
who
that's
go to
good.
therapy, they want to be better.
Mhm.
Somebody just said they do. They do. They want to work on themselves. There's nothing wrong with therapy.
It ain't. I'm just saying I don't think it's a large group of men that go. That's all
Can I
I'm
ask
saying.
the age range? Can I ask the average age range of men that's in therapy?
I would
Black
say
men?
the average age range of men that are in therapy ranges from 25 to 35.
I can't believe that.
Oh, I
At
believe it.
25,
She's
35,
getting
dude,
her-
still
25 to 35. I can only speak for my practice.
okay.
Right.
Like I say 25 to 35. And honestly, I feel like, hey, the younger men have it more together than the older ones. Because at least the younger ones are willing to figure out what their flaws are. And a lot of times those younger men are really amped to jump in and commit to their women. and they're not out here sleeping around and messing with one woman to the next woman. They are
because they like
honed
men.
into that one woman that they
You know
want.
why? You know why?
And they tender.
Because they're not sleeping with women anymore.
Yeah, thank you,
Both of
Chris.
those women are sleeping with older men. So the amount of women that they can possibly sleep with,
Right, Darren Jones.
is dwindling down. So that's what makes them according to you, I guess, act differently.
You're dealing with a lot of tender dicks. I didn't want to say the word, but that's what we call it. The whole phenomenon going on, the 25 to 35-year-olds. So they are a little emotional and they want to get in therapy. They're in there crying. They ain't even went through nothing in life yet. They in there crying on your couch.
But you don't know that. You'd be surprised some of the trauma that people experience from their environment, from growing up as teenagers, some of the childhood trauma. So no, I wouldn't put that stereotype out there that just because they're young, that doesn't mean that they haven't went through life. Some people are forced to grow up real quick because of their environment and their circumstances.
And I saw the comment. I thought the older ones would be in therapy more.
Right.
Probably not, because a lot of older people are set in their ways, and they've had already a ton of divorces, and they just feel like I am who I am. So no, I don't need therapy. So that sounds right. That age range sounds right.
Yeah.
I'm trying not to go down that road. I got to do this. Derek said
Yes,
my
I do.
pastor was my therapist. You know, I do think spiritually you can get some guidance with therapy for some people. I just think it's dangerous to go to everybody. You know, maybe I'm kind of proving you wrong. I think it's dangerous to go to everybody when you vulnerable and looking for some help. And you know, who's to say every pastor is going to give you the skills that you need to get better? So I do hate that happened to a lot of us growing up, that we're taught to go to the pastor, and you know, instead of going to therapy growing up. That's just my thing.
Separation of church and state, maybe at that point. But I don't know. I'm
Yeah.
just saying. Dr. April, I think what you're saying is right. I was listening to what you were saying, and you were saying that the younger guys are more in tune with that therapy than us. And I think you're right. It's easier to give birth than to raise the dead. And a lot of the older dudes, we are dead. We nail us to the cross. But the younger guys, you know, therapy is a hot topic right now. And reason why I'm saying that. So as this is out there, they're thinking, you know what? Maybe it is all right to go and go get therapy. Where you know you got some old dogs that just like I ain't doing that. There's nothing wrong with me, and
Right.
can't get the fix. That's why me and Mario are amazed that, like you said, you run into so many men, but that is your practice. You are thriving. We see you get shout outs all the time for your practice. So you know you're talking to us from what you see. So that can probably help someone that's watching our program right now probably take that next step, or you know probably check themselves. Either way.
All right. Before the estrogen leaves our screen tonight, I got a quick question for y'all. I want y'all to be honest with me because this came from a female viewer. Dr. Givens, Dr. Manning, do women marry up or down? Because it says because men marry up on looks, not monetary. Because men don't marry what they consider ugly unless you got money. This comes from a female viewer. So,
Crazy.
do women marry up or down? I want y'all perspective.
I think it all depends on the woman. It's and where she's at in life. Honestly, her, and not just from a financial standpoint, but more of a mental and spiritual standpoint. It's what she wants. What does she feel like she deserves? What she's gonna put up with, what she's gonna take if she feels like she's settling, her worth, her self-esteem, like all of that plays a number in how women choose their partners.
Dr. Manning.
Yeah, I have to agree with that. It's just preference. I mean, I have friends that they like blue collar workers, and then I have friends that look only for professional guys. And a lot of my friends are well educated, master's degrees, some of them doctoral degrees. They work in professions. It's just kind of my circle. But it's kind of half and half. It just depends. I mean, for the most part, I think women wish to marry up, if that's the case. But again, look at the numbers. Look at the numbers. So a lot of women do settle for someone who is attentive, who's there. who's available. And it depends also, again, looking at the age range. Are we talking about younger women? Are we talking about middle-aged women? It just kind of depends on where you are in life. It's hard to just kind of nail that one down and say this is what a woman is looking for, because all of my friends, we all have different tastes. Some like light, some like dark, some like tall, some don't care. So it just kind of depends.
All right. Now watch these answers be a little different, possibly. Chris Leo,
That's
the
cap.
women marry up or down?
Cap. Cap. And they're not getting on nail knee. They're not buying nail ring. They're not going out there hollering at nobody. They are marrying who acts. That's all they're doing. They are marrying who acts. They're trying to find the best person who acts them. Stop talking about some they marrying up or down, because they can only marry someone that acts them
Say
to
who
marry
asked?
them. Until they get out there and go hunt and kill their own food, then no, I marry who I want. I do it because I go pick the one I want. They are going to pick the one that picks them, the best out of the one that picks them. And some of them get married because that's the only one that asks them to marry them.
But you know
No
what?
one else
Chris
has
is
ever
Very
right
asked
true.
though.
ever in
You
their
know what?
lifetime, and they said yes because of this. So they don't
You
care.
right.
They
I'm
ain't
agree
marrying
with you
up
on
or
this.
down. They marry who asks them.
I'm gonna agree with you on this one only because I've counseled someone that was in that situation. Now they're not together now, but and when asking, her like why did she get married, end up getting divorced, she said, well, he asked. I
Yeah.
didn't necessarily love him. I felt like I could grow to love him, but he asked. So I said,
Mhm.
okay.
All right. Well, listen, I'm gonna ask somebody to the screen. They late to the party, but I'm gonna throw you in there anyway. Dr. Cook.
Dr. TC.
Oh, I love that hair.
First of all, I
Uh-oh.
did not see this on IG till late. Second of all, I was looking at scraggly mess. Third of all, I have a new computer and I can't figure this out, so I'm on my phone, but all those excuses are not reasons. Hello, everyone.
Hey,
Hi.
Doc.
Hey there,
Dr.
Dr. Cook.
Cook. The women marry up or down?
Do women marry up or down?
Yep.
I would hope they marry up.
Mm.
I mean,
Dissertation, we need it.
you didn't say they marry lateral. We don't make lateral moves, so we're not making no lateral moves, and I got to choose between up and down. I'm not going to choose down. I'm gonna choose up. Um, so you didn't give me a lot of choices with that one. You want to find
Make
somebody that, here's my thing. You don't have to find somebody, for me, like you don't have to find somebody that's wealthy, but you want somebody that can provide if something happens to you, or you want somebody that can take the reins if you can't take the reins. And I'm not saying you can't do that if you're down, because you may not have a lot of money, but you may be crafted with your hands. I get that part as well. But at the same time, you still want to marry somebody going in. You want somebody that can meet you at the table. And since I didn't get meet me at the table, then I want somebody above the table. Horace.
Oh,
mm,
I can't.
I love it.
This is a
Name call.
female viewer question. Good God, my Zay, the international ladies man.
Woo. Hey, Dr. TC, first and foremost. I think Horace put you by me because he knew you were going to have some technical difficulties like I normally do. So that was refreshing to hear.
It's that cancer thing. It's that cancer thing. We on the
That's
same
why you
page.
my dog. That's why you my dog. But I think Chris right though. Chris said a mouthful, and a lot of people don't like to hear Chris mouthful, but it was right this time. Um, yeah, women don't have no choice in the matter. I don't really believe the only choice that they have is saying yes or no. While that man is down on his knee, marrying,
Whoa.
and I've seen all of it. I've seen women married for the money, and I've also seen women married, like you said, because the Negro asked. But I think that, and I could be wrong because I've never been a girl a day in my life. I think that all women have this fantasy of being married one day, and you just don't know to who and when. So when that guy does come around, he looks like that knight in shining armor because he did all of the things that it took to be a knight in shining armor, and he asked the question. Now it's all up to you to answer it. Now he may not have all that money in the beginning. You may be one of those women that fall in love with the ambitious side of things and say that eventually he'll come to that point, or you just don't care. But I don't think that they really have a say after he says, "Will you marry me?" They only say they have is yes or no, but most of them are gonna say yes. That's just my
That's what
dissertation,
Mario
and I
said.
could be wrong.
Super Mario, give me some wisdom.
Well, oh, damn. Well, I think marrying down is a rich man's game. I think most men marry up. I think if you marry down, you probably got a lot of money because you don't care about what a woman brings. You only need them to serve a service. So most time, a man who marries down, he probably got a lot of cash, and he's using her for a service and not for a mate. I think, but most men who are par or like I ain't gonna say broke, but just a average, subpar man, just a good man who owns common ground, they're gonna probably marry up because I think the women that we looking for, we gonna like Chris said, we're the askers, so we get to choose. That's why it'd be so funny when I hear women in the the women that actually want to be married talk as if they have any leverage. That'd be amazing to me because until women start willing to get on their knees and ask men to be married, you don't have no leverage. No matter how good of a woman you are, you can't be married until a man asks you. So you can be emotionally stable, emotionally crazy, emotionally tall, emotionally short. It don't matter until a man asks you. If you're not willing, some women are willing to ask a man. Then they the leverage on them. But if you're not willing to ask a man, then you don't have no leverage because no matter what, like you have to pick out of the men that's willing to ask you. So I think that most men, and this is maybe the fault of why we so far apart in marriage, most men, once we get to around that 35 age, this is not something that's just not it's taboo because people act like they don't know this. Most women start putting their flag in the ground saying and talking about family and how much they want to be married. And most men feel the power dynamic switch to them and say, aha, I've been chasing and I've been looking and I've been running, but now I hold the power. The average woman I bump into need me to make them a wife. So then that's when you get men who probably never had power or never had that kind of power. They get power stricken. And so now they go out in the world and then they have the pickings that they never picked. Like a lot of dudes never had this much options when it comes to women. But now that you become the marrier, shoot, you can just go out there. You can be subpar and you can still. Cause I don't know too many men who get told no. Right. So that's just why I feel most men marry me up, and if you're rich, you can marry down.
What I say all the time: all you need is $2, 2 teeth, and some common sense, boy. You looking like some gold out here. But a wise man once said, and he really changed my perspective on things. A wise man said, Chris Leo, women control what?
Access to sex.
And men control what?
Access to marriage. I like to use the terminology access to the box and access to the rock.
Yeah, I like that, man. Wise words were spoken. So yeah, I think that's true. Women, y'all control sex. Men control marriage. What you say, Zay?
Turn your mic on.
Yeah, you got
a professional.
420 was the other day. Horace, you're rubbing off on me.
I don't know what they got to do with me, but okay. All right, listen. I wanted to say that because a female viewer asked in, and we thought one day, man, we just got to take that plunge. Before we get off air, we might get banned. Hey, before we leave this show, bonus question. I'm gonna make it fast. Only if I'm talking about the question. Ladies, answer this question. Women leave men when they get money and can provide for themselves. A female viewer asked that. She say, why when y'all get money and can provide for y'all, say y'all oftentimes are more known to leave the man? Dr. Manning.
Well, I mean first. So when we get money, we're more prone to leave the man.
Yep. Y'all probably threaten them all the time. I'm gonna leave your ass. I'm out of here.
So I need the scenario though. Like, is it because he was no good? Because I'm leaving for a reason. So, but you're saying that I'm more willing to stay there if I don't have money and take his mess, but I can go when I get money. Is that what she's asking? Do you know?
I had no idea, but I will say I know a whole heap of people down here with 2 and 3 degrees They let you know on the first date or every chance they get how they got degrees, they got money, and they looking for a man that's gonna bring something to the table. Got to be equal. You got to be 6 feet. You got all them things, and she don't need a man for nothing. And my dog always say he wish she'd never get one, but maybe that's the scenario you're talking about. Once she gets a certain amount of success, that's how she defines herself, and she's more
Well,
prone to leave a guy. I'm
so
just assuming.
from my standpoint, of course, if I can take care of myself and there is something going on there, then yeah, I'm probably more prone to leave because I am, basically self-sufficient. However, money is not everything, and me being able to take care of myself is not the only thing that a woman is concerned with. We want to make. I don't care how much money we have. We want to be rich women. Look at all these celebrities. They still want to be with someone. It's not I want to leave just because I'm self sufficient. No, we want to be able to work with someone. But if we can't and we have money to take care of ourselves, then of course, yeah, we are gonna leave if there's an issue. So yeah.
All right, I just want to say from my outside looking in, there's a lot of successful women that want penis. They don't really desire a man anymore. But Dr. TC,
Turn your mic on.
Turn your mic on,
Maybe.
Dr.
You
Zay,
are.
I mean Dr. TC.
I'm so confused right now. I agree with Dr. Tamika that unless there's something wrong, I don't necessarily agree with her statement because I feel like if you're in a relationship or you're married to someone and you all have been together all this time and everything is great, and now you have more degrees and you have more money, then that means that you all together as a couple are more of a power couple. So why would I leave that looking for something, hoping that the grass is greener on the other side when it's not guaranteed to be greener? I'm only going to be looking to leave if I was looking to leave anyway, but wasn't financially able to leave. And now I feel like I am, and now I can throw it into your face. That's the only thing I can come up with in that situation.
Dr. Givens, before I give it to the guy.
Well, I agree with what Dr. Tamika said also, but at the same time, I think women put up with a lot of stuff, whether or not they're financially stable or not, and it depends on the circumstances. I've seen some of everything in counseling, and I've had a couple female very successful, and husband, just was not good, and the scenario is that she knew that she didn't really want to be in a relationship, but because she has small kids, she needs the help. And she doesn't have a support system, family around to be able to support her to where she can just up and move with two small kids. So it's like, okay, let me stick it out and try to work on it because I need the assistance. I need the help. Everybody's not out here able to be a single parent or even wanting to be a single parent. Some people feel like, hey, I need that other parent. They help me make the baby. So even though I can financially support us and my kids, I don't want to. The emotional support as well. So I'm going to stay in this relationship.
Dr. Chris Leo.
Well, I would. I mean, I don't know. I don't know about this subject because they leave. They leave for all different type of reasons. So I don't count that. I just think that it's interesting. If you listen to all the ladies, they said when they decided to leave, it was something the man did. Yet in the previous scenario, when that man decided to leave, who did we point it? Who did we point the fault to? Right back to him. So I just think it's weird how when the woman decides to leave, it's something that the man did, but when the man is emotionally unavailable, it's still something that he did. It's not something that the woman did.
Super Mario.
I don't know. I thought this seemed like a question for women.
Take on
it. So
you still get your take on it because when she said she didn't, it wasn't like it was a broad question. I'm saying that I observe a lot of women that right now, the ones that are so successful, they're not looking for relationships. They'll tell you straight up, they got a little friend here, they got their own everything, a new car, house, da da da. and they're not looking. And when they do talk, so I'm not trying to answer to nobody. I'm not trying to be dealt with.
I agree, Horace. Anybody know? I got a lot. I know a lot of men who I would say good, solid men, right? Like I think Dr. April said this earlier. That's the sad part. And I know so many good women. Like some of the women that she speak of. Like I'm talking about, like educated, smart, beautiful women that caring, loving, want to be a good mate. Like I know a lot of those, right? And I know that one on the right and one on the left. And I hear the people on the left saying this, and I hear the people on the right saying this. Then I say both to both parties, and both parties swear to God that they both lying. So then I'll be sometimes be like, man, I don't know how you get to the middle, because men saying women don't do this, and women saying yes we do, y'all don't do this. Then yes we do, y'all don't do this. It's like I don't know how you get to a middle point, because it's like right now, that's why I was so happy. That's why I shut up when Dr. April said a lot of men, she has more men coming into her practice than anything. I said, well, that's good. I'm happy to hear that, because maybe we walking into the right direction of reconciliation and relationship. So I don't know. I know that didn't answer your question, but I just want to say that before though. I was happy to hear that she sees a lot of men that's taking the step to say they want to do whatever it takes to get right, to get married, I guess.
Zay, you got some insight before we wrap up?
No, Mario was pretty much on point. I mean, I talk about that all the time as far as stop talking about it, being about it, and if that's what you want to do, work toward that. I honestly just think it's sad though when women have that depiction in their mind that I got all the money that I need, I can do this by myself. So stupid to me. I'm not saying that's their first thought, but the fact that that thought even comes out is dumb to me. Because, like I said, the women that I know, at least, so I'll speak from my myopic view. Most of them want to get married. If you want to get married, you do the things it take to get married. You got a little money, good. That's y'all money to help y'all do better in life. Stop putting the my in there when it's supposed to be y'all. Like Hardy said, like just do what you need to do to get what you want out of life. I've said that so many times on the podcast that it just don't make no sense to me. But if you think that because you have money and you can do it all on your own, is the way, by all means, have at it. But if you want to try the other way, you got to do something different to get a different result. That's all I'll say. But again, that's just it. Go ahead, Horace.
No, that's all I got. I got those two female viewer questions off my lap, and good. Dr. TC, we're glad that you did come on. And I am interested. I want to bring you guys on and let y'all ask us the questions, because uh, we do always get good feedback when y'all come on. Because y'all say what women want to hear, even if I don't agree. I know it's good dialogue, and it's good for the ratings. Yes, Dr. Cook.
Yes, Dr. TC.
Wait, Dr. TC. Unmute your mic.
I wasn't
Yeah, you
talking.
acting
I'm
like
just
Horace.
sitting here. I'm just sitting here, just listening to you just rant on and make these generalizations. I'm just sitting here listening.
Call me General Lee. Hey, so thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of the Back Super Friends. Before we go, I'm gonna go to the ladies first, get them the closing comments. Let them know about the Chambers Talk Show. Let them know about the affirmations that we always get. Dr. Manning winning the award for her Corvette.
I did not. I did not win.
Dr. April's book.
You didn't win?
My friend, the president of the club, she won. She's into competing and putting her car in the shows and the competitions. I just drive.
You
So
posed like the winner though, so I thought you won.
yeah,
Hey,
I
go
can
look at the
pose.
picture. She posed like
I
she
can
done
pose.
won everything.
I can pose.
You
I
did.
can pose. But I wanted to address real quick. You said closing comments. Okay, yeah. Do go out and follow us, the Chamber Talk Show on YouTube. We got a reality something coming up soon.
What?
We got some new things in the works coming up with the Chamber as well. Go out, buy my book. Go out, buy Dr. April's book. My book is called Mentally Fit. When we're talking about therapy, the holistic approach to wellness. Thank you guys for bringing us on tonight. But Derek, that is not true. He said when women got it, they don't want a good man. We do want a good man. I don't care how much money we have. So yeah, I just had to address that. But yeah,
Okay, most men feel that way. Dr. Cook, Dr. TC.
I don't really have any closing remarks. I don't have the chamber. I don't have everything, but I am working on a book of poetry, so I'll let you all know when it comes out.
Dr.
That's what's up.
April Givens, give us a closing comments and our affirmation.
Okay, well, my closing comment is yes, go out and get my self-help journal. It is where books are sold everywhere, Amazon.com, BarnesandNoble.com. It's called Strategies and Tips to Improve Your Overall Well-Being. So it helps you with any issue that you have that arise in life. It has tips and tools and also the ability for you to free write. So being able to journal is great. It's therapeutic, helps you process and heal some things. So the affirmation for today is I am making positive changes in my life.
All right. If both of y'all, any of you guys, do a 30-minute to 1 minute video, we will share it, especially about your books. We will post it on the Black Super Friends Network and advertise it. I definitely got some people on this screen that I would buy a book for personally. Right on time. I will buy her 2 books. Thank you, Mia, for
Not
joining
good.
us. Definitely gonna get a book.
Where you been hiding, Mia?
Zay, don't say it. What's it? How is it? Came at 5 times. All right, Super Mario.
Hey, thank y'all. Thank y'all as usual. Every time y'all come on, we have a great show. So thank y'all. Thank y'all and thank y'all. Put the mugs up, fellas. Now this is getting redundant. I need everybody to buy a damn mug. See, this
I
is
like
what I'm talking about.
those. I
And this is
like
what I'm talking
them.
about. See, people always say, you know what, we're just looking for a black man to do something so we can support him. Well, I don't hear my cash app singing right now. So I need everybody to support black men trying to have a positive black voice. You might know we could be doing a lot of other stuff right now, but we're trying to come to you and we're bringing y'all smart, intelligent women, not city girls. So at least thing y'all can do is buy a mug. Buy a mug. And shout out to Dr. April because I did watch your interview with my homeboy TK, and that was a good interview. Good job, man. You know, we he's a friend of the podcast too. So hey, we proud of y'all as always. You know what I'm saying? All y'all ladies and everything y'all do. We happy to know y'all.
Thank
So
you.
come back and see us again.
We will. How can we
Zay,
get the mug? How do we get the mug?
Chris Leo.
Um, come, little one. Come.
Jamaican Zay. You got to turn on
Use
your
our
mic.
website right now. You got to stop turning it off. Listen, I love you ladies coming on. I appreciate y'all. I hate that me and Mario are such good friends because we pretty much had the same clothes. And I was going to tell y'all to get a mug. And for our ladies that were on, I love that y'all shared the information that y'all have on y'all platform. And it was this thing that y'all used to do for us a while ago where y'all would share, like, Black Super Friends podcast thing. I seen that it kind of dwindled down. So I'm begging you guys tonight, if y'all can just put it back up for us again. Chris is going to give you the Cash App information so that you can get your lovely mug. It's personalized. See, mine says Zay, the international ladies man. Nobody else drinking out this mug but me. When you get yours, it's gonna be the same thing. And for anybody else that's watching that ain't bought a mug and ain't sharing and ain't tagging nobody like we asked, we see y'all. Just know. But
All right.
thank y'all for
We
spending
got
the
you.
time with us. We
We
know
got
we
you.
went long. Thank you, ladies. I appreciate y'all.
Thank y'all for
Well,
You're
having us.
welcome. Thank
well,
y'all.
first of all, I want to come. I want to fly to Dallas and come on the show. Come on the Chambers Talk Show live. I want
Yes.
to come on a live show. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
All
We
right.
want y'all to come.
Chris,
Let's collaborate. Let's get it together.
Chris Leo, you about to have technical difficulties.
Saying I didn't get my closing comments. That's all I'm
I
saying.
was coming to you. That's what a host does, facilitates.
My bad.
All right. This is what I'm talking about. It happened with the Temptations. It happened with the Heartbeats. It's always that goddamn one person.
My
All
bad.
right. Then we got Vanisher because they stay with us. We almost to the end. Guess Chris Leo. It's your turn.
Jimmy Butler dropped 56 points tonight. Jimmy Butler, the Miami Heat is up 3-1 on the number 1 seed in the East, man. Yeah, look, I know this ain't what we was talking about this show, but the Miami Heat and Miami had Dwayne Wade, Shaq. Ain't nobody ever dropped this many points as Jimmy Butler, 56, man. Big shout out to y'all. Again, I appreciate you ladies for coming on the show. What I would like to see is the Chambers Talk Reloaded. Now that you dropped the first two members like NWA, let's bring in TC. Who's Easy though? Never mind. But yeah, let's bring in TC. Let's get that thing back pumping. Thank you guys for coming. Like my brother said, get buy a mug, use some drugs. Here's a hug.
All right. Well,
you don't have to have a hug, TC.
There it is.
What I mean,
yeah, that's Tuesday, Chris. That's Chris.
Oh, my bad. Sorry about that. Sorry.
Hey, next Sunday we want y'all to jump. Maybe not. Is it next Sunday? We want y'all to jump on our show. We're doing a show on where do you meet in your midlife? Where do you meet people? Like, how do you meet and maintain relationships once you hit your 40s? Because a lot of people are struggling with that, and so we're getting ready to do a show trying to get a relationship therapist to come on. Kind of talk more about it. But anyway, y'all think about it, put it on your schedules. I'll shoot you a message for us and we can maybe collaborate on that. I think that'll be a great show. And then we can help push y'all's mug as well.
Send me the link to the books, man. I promise I buy them.
Okay. All right.
I was gonna say, Dr. Tamika, you gotta pose by the mug like you pose by the Corvette. We gonna sell out. I promise you. Hit my hand to God.
Right.
I can do that.
I would love to be on the show. I'm shedding trees like it's training camp. I want no more friends. We getting low every season. A friend is gone. Liabilities, less Christmas gifts. So hey, thank y'all for joining. All right,
thank you guys. Have a great night. Thank y'all for having us.
Dr. Manny,
we gotta say goodbye first, but then you can go.
You do know we go backstage, Dr. Manny.
Okay.
Well, she do have
to go beat some.
Thank you. Yeah, that's what it is. The late bird, the early bird. Yeah.